All right, here's a second part to lesson 2, surface area of a cylinder. Okay, so the bases of a right cylinder are two congruent circles. That would be your top circle and your bottom circle here. And the curved surface of a cylinder is a rectangle when you lay it flat. So if you unravel this, it makes a rectangle. And these shapes make this net right here. The surface of a cylinder is 2 times the area of one circular base. So you're going to find the area of one circle. These are congruent, and times it by 2, plus the area of the rectangle. So we're going to find this and then add them all together. So this is actually your circumference of the base, right? And this is your width, and this is also your length. The width of the rectangle equals the height of the cylinder. Okay, this right here is this part of your cylinder. The length of the rectangle is equal to the circumference. That's right here. So the area of the rectangle is circumference of the base, okay, here, times the height of the cylinder. So when a cylinder is like a cardboard tube and has no circular bases, so if this was hollow, like a roll of paper towel, its surface is the curved surface only. So we would just find this part, the actual rectangle part. So curved surface area would equal the circumference of the base times the height of the cylinder. Okay, so let's do a few here. All right, so it says find the surface area of this cylinder right here. Sketch the net. There it is. You won't have to sketch nets, but again, we've done that, so I just want you to have that visual. The surface area is 2 times the area of one circle plus a rectangle, as mentioned in the previous slide. You need to recall the area of a circle is pi r squared. Pi, in this instance, we're going to use 3.14. Okay, radius, r equals radius. That's halfway across the circle, right here. And squared just means we times it by itself. So substitute the radius given 8. Area equals 3.14 times 8 squared. So this would be 3.14 times 64. They've got this dot here because it's approximate, because 3.14 actually is an infinite number of decimals. If you punch it in your calculator, you get all kinds of decimals if you just punched in the pi sign, but like for our purposes, we are just going to use this. The area of a rectangle is the circumference times the height. Need to remember circumference is 2 pi r. Okay, so these are two formulas that need to start to be committed into memory. Okay, 2 pi r times the height. I know this looks kind of jumble-mumbly, but it's really just substituting numbers in that you're given. And it'll all come together when I do a question for you here. Okay, so they substitute r in, the 8, substitute the height in. It says use your calculator, press the pi sign on your calculator, the key. Again, let's stick with 3.14. Not all basic calculators have the pi key, and it tends to confuse people sometimes. Okay. It will still be an approximate answer, but we're going to round it to the nearest 2 decimal places. Okay, so they've done all this. Plug it in, 2 pi times 8 times 11. This is your answer. So you're going to multiply 2 times the circles plus the rectangle area, and we get a surface area of 955.04. Okay, and rounding it to a whole number, 955 centimeters squared. Okay, and that's probably what we'll do in the questions unless you're asked otherwise. Okay, I pulled this question especially, this is also in your visual notes, because now there's one word that's changed here that could throw you off if you don't actually notice it, and that's diameter. Okay, before they were talking about radius on the previous page, if you recall. Okay, so it had the area of a rectangle 2 pi r times h. Now we're not given radius, we're given diameter, so I need you to realize that circumference is pi times d, and it's also 2 pi r. So based on what you're given for information, you can plug it into this formula, or you could half it and keep this formula, right? Because half of the radius is, or half of the diameter is a radius. Remember, diameter is all the way across the circle. Radius is halfway. So 2 radiuses make 1 diameter. So anyways, this actual question is asking about the label of the can. Okay, they want to know what the surface area is to 1 decimal place. So we're not actually worried about the surface area of the circle parts of the can, they just want the label. So sketch the can, they drew it. The label doesn't cover the base, circular bases as I just mentioned. The curved surface is circumference of the base times the height of the cylinder. So pi d times h. And substitute d in at 5 and h at 7, and you're going to get this for the curved surface area. Okay, so just wanting you to be aware. If I was to draw this, I probably would have drawn it with the information they gave me, which was the diameter. That would have made more sense to me. But again, you can put it out there however it works best for you. All right, so let's do one. So here I'm given the height and the radius, and I'm asked to find the surface area. So I put my formula in here already. Okay, so just realize, yeah, this looks like a lot, but it really isn't. You're just substituting the numbers in. I just put a reminder here that C equals 2 pi r and C equals pi d. I'm going to use a pi r because I've got the radius that's given, and I am just going to plug the numbers in. So I've got 2 times pi. Remember, I'm going to use 3.14 times the radius, which is 5 squared. Don't lose that exponent. Plus 2 times 3.14 again, times the radius, times the height. Okay, not hard to do. I just going to write this one more time on this side so that, whoops, I'm putting the right numbers in my calculator. Okay, this I'm going to crunch into my calculator and I get 376.8. This one goes into my calculator at 157, and then I just add the 2 together and I find that the surface area, whoops, is 533.8 centimeters squared. If I were rounding this to the nearest whole number, the 8 means that this number drives up. It would be 534 centimeters squared surface area. Okay, so all this looks kind of mumble jumble, like, whoa, what am I doing? But just find your numbers, put them into the formula. Okay, you should be good to go for your full assignment now.